Are you an aspiring professional singer looking to level up your vocal technique and start building your career in the music and performing arts industry? If so, then watch this short video here. Hey, what's up, friends? My name is Sophie Amelkin, and welcome to the Dynamic Voice Online Mastermind Program. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what the Dynamic Voice Program is and how it can help you. So this is for singers who aspire to level up their singing chops and build a career in the music and performing arts industry. So this is for singers who are highly motivated, have already been studying voice or working on their vocal technique, whether that's with a previous teacher or through another program or even through committed self-guided work that you've pulled from resources on the internet, perhaps. Maybe you are a singer, songwriter, instrumentalist who has written music and is working on developing your own unique artistic voice, and maybe you've been putting your music out onto streaming platforms. Maybe you're an artist who aspires to have a career in performing arts in the music scene as an independent artist, and you also want to pursue musical theater or jazz or crossover genres. So the Dynamic Voice Program is designed to maximize the foundational strength and flexibility in your singing and provide you with the core musical skills and industry knowledge that you need to build a successful career. So why do we want to study foundational vocal technique? So this is interesting. I have taught many students over the years that are working within the pop rock, singer-songwriter realm, indie folk, musical theater, and classical students. And different students will come to my studio and say, I'm a singer who's really focused in a very specific genre, and I need help with vocal training that will make me better at that style. So they might want to be a better belter or be able to use a more gravelly rock sound or a breathy folksy style. I want to perform musical theater, so I really need to work on my, mixed belt for contemporary musical theater. And what I say to every new student is, let's just put style aside for 1 second and let's focus in on how the voice actually works as an instrument, because there's vocal technique and then on top of that, there's style. So I always say, don't worry, I am not trying to turn you into an opera singer or anything like that, but just go with me here, folks, for a second. I want to share with you that in all of my years of teaching, I have almost never, at least not to my memory, had a student that hasn't felt immediate results in their very first lesson and then returned after lesson number 1. So those stats are pretty good. And studying foundational technique is working. So I actually want to pull up this list here just to name a few incredibly famous recording artists and performance artists. You'll know all of these names, of course. Celine Dion, Lady Gaga, she studied at Juilliard, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Beyonce, Katy Perry, Justin Timberlake, Josh Groban. The list goes on and on and on. All of these incredibly famous, successful artists who take vocal study seriously, because you have to have a solid foundation in vocal technique to be able to do stuff like tour, to be able to perform night after night, to hold up for hours in a recording session. So just a little list here. So vocal technique is not just for classical singers working in opera, working at the Metropolitan Opera. Having a solid foundation in vocal technique ultimately means having complete control and flexibility of your instrument, aka your voice. That's what it's all about. So it's almost irrelevant what style or genre of singer you consider yourself to be. If you are aspiring to sing at a professional level, and let me say that again, if you are aspiring to sing at a professional level, you want to make sure that you are in the driver's seat of your vocal abilities and that you are maximizing your artistic capabilities to give yourself more opportunities to work, perform, and create, because that's what a career is about: working, performing, creating. So the Dynamic Voice Online Mastermind Program is designed to help singers that are working towards maximizing their vocal potential and building a career as a working singer. So the way we do that is by creating a recurring program. And our beta program here is going to be roughly 3 months long, and then we move to an annual length program after that. So this is really exciting. This beta program is something brand new, short, sweet, and really intense. And in this model, we break down the absolute essentials of strong foundational vocal technique and vocal pedagogy. And for those of you who don't know, pedagogy is just referring to the study of understanding how the vocal instrument functions. So really getting into the details of how our instrument works. We create really specific areas of study and tailored technique training. So breath support, resonance, registration. These are just a few of the things we'll be learning about to get us started. So this brings me to my next point. So some of you might be thinking, well, I really only sing one style and I'm just not really sure that my voice is suiting to expanding my work into other genres. Well, let me tell you a quick story. I always considered myself, as a singer, to have kind of a lower mid-range rock belt when it came to singing harder edge styles of music. I sang in bands when I was in college. I sang in a lot of theater. I did a lot of stuff with big band, jazz band, and a couple of years ago here, I was hired to go on tour with a really big rock band. And I knew I was going to have to sing all of these really high belty parts. I knew that was where I was going to land. And so I went to check in with my own vocal coach here in New York. And I said, I've been hired for this tour. I need to work on really work on my high belting so that it becomes really sustainable. I don't hurt my voice, and then I can do it really well. And I'm not really sure my voice even does that. Can I expand into this part of my vocal register? And my teacher and I, we got into it, and within one lesson, I was belting well above the staff, high above the staff. And, maybe you're thinking, oh, did you work on some really crazy extended vocal technique exercise to get that? And the answer is no, absolutely not. We focused in on the fundamentals of vocal technique that are already so ingrained from my own training and teaching: breath support, registration, resonance. We just got it all lined up, got me out of my own way, because this is one of the biggest things as a singer. We just get in our own way, mentally and physically. And all of a sudden, I'm soaring high above the staff. So I took that lesson, I took that information, I took that practice, put it into my own practice work, went on tour, and now I have a whole new aspect of my own singing that's available to me. Now I can go in for roles and auditions and gigs that have me belting high. It was just taking that foundational vocal technique that I'm already so well versed in and getting the help to put that into action. Here's another example. I want to pull up here a video of my wonderful, fabulous student, Adriana. Oops, I'll just pause that for a second. So, Adriana is a fantastic singer-songwriter. She is currently working on recording her first solo EP, which is going to be amazing. And when she came to me as a voice student, she wanted to open up her voice, expand her range, particularly her belting range. And she wanted to really hone in on what was authentically unique about her singing. So this is a clip from a lesson we did. So I want to share with you this clip where we're focused in on some fundamental concepts. So check this out.
Vocal rest was good because it had me focusing on technique.
The non-actual, non-sound of your voice part of singing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because even though I was only doing just sitting down and putzing with technique 1 or 2 times a week, it still helped because I wasn't making sound, so I was just seeing the ways that my voice kind of worked without my voice being there like a crutch. You know? So
yeah, no, it's amazing. It sounds really great. And this is how you go down that path, and this is how you start to get a lot of control over your voice.
Yep. When I just engage it to stretch a little bit more, it just...
What does that feel like?
It just sounds... Well, it feels more resonant. I can feel the resonance versus just hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I stretch it out, it just feels like more space, down here almost.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
And you'll have less of an acoustic sense of your voice.
Yep.
The more it's projecting. Really, the more the overtones and the resonance of the voice is being projected this way, the less There's my hand.
That's
why you'll hear. I prove that I'm actually there. It's actually me. And it's in my head that sounds so massive.
Yeah.
But it's actually it's actually if I go as opposed the second one has
projection.
Yeah, projection. But the first one sounds really woofy in my head.
Yeah.
So, you have to just trust it. So I've learned through watching my own teaching that I say yeah and way too much. So it's good for me to know. Self-improvement there. So this is really interesting, this clip of Adriana, because at the beginning of the clip, she's referring to the fact that she had just come back from taking a couple weeks of vocal rest after being sick. So she's talking about how she used that time to really think about technique without actually singing. She was doing breath work in the mirror. She was doing muscle coordination work that helps with her breath support. And when she was able to come back to voice lessons, she noticed a difference in her singing when she was feeling well again. She worked, even though she just worked on the technique without actually using her voice, her range had expanded in those 2 weeks. And she has this incredibly powerful high belt now, and frankly, a ridiculous upper soprano extension, as she can sing ridiculously high. She can also access a lot of different colors in her voice now that after studying foundational vocal technique. She's got this really like brassy, powerful belt. She's got this light heartbreaking breathiness to her sound, this beautiful mix she's developing, and she's got this gorgeous, really organic vibrato that's starting to develop. So she's expanded her vocal strength and flexibility so much through studying this technique. So let me go back to my little page here. So one of the benefits to this online mastermind model is that we are able to create this incredible professional community of like-minded, motivated individuals. The Dynamic Voice Online Mastermind program is tailored to the students' needs as singers. And we also expand that into addressing the additional core skills that singers are going to need to be successful in their careers. So we have the benefit of this awesome community where we can work on ear training, harmonization, artistic branding and marketing, recording, collaboration, and a variety of other topics that are relevant to building a career as a singer. So I've discovered that when we are all aligned toward the same goal, we can do incredible things together that we simply cannot accomplish alone. And that's part of what this online mastermind program community is all about. So let's talk a little bit more about the Dynamic Singer Online Mastermind. Everyone in this program is extremely skilled, focused, and irrefutably kind. We are creating an environment that is radically safe, and I want to say that, is a radically safe space to work and grow in as singers. Because as singers, we cannot grow if we don't feel safe and supported by our peers as we define and grow our unique voices and artistic perspectives. This community aspect is what makes the Dynamic Voice program so unique. All of the members of the community contribute to each other's success to unlock each other's artistic potential. It also creates beautiful opportunities I've seen for artists to collaborate. And some of these people in this online mastermind program, they're going to end up becoming your lifelong friends. It's amazing. I've seen it happen, and it's such a wonderful part of this. So this is a moment where I want to jump back over to some of my students here that I've pulled, and I want to talk to Jess, who's a part of the program. And so Jess is going to speak to the environment within my program here.
Hi, my name is Jess, and I have been a student of Sophie's since the end of last year, and she is an amazing teacher. She has taught me so much technique, and she has given me such a confidence boost. Singing was a huge part of my life for a very long time, and there was a few years before I was able to come back to it, and she has welcomed me with such open arms, and she has created such a safe space for me to practice again and for me to find my voice again. And she is so unbelievably talented, and it really does transfer into her teaching style. She is so great at explaining things in a way that meshes with whatever your learning style is. Me personally, I'm a very visual learner, but I would not trade her lessons for the world.
Awesome. So yeah, I promise I didn't pay her to say the word safe space. She feels it, and I'm glad, because that is always at the forefront of my mission with teaching and programming. Singers just don't grow. Artists, musicians, we just don't grow if we're in a negative or unsafe space as we're working, as we're building our skills and our brand and our vulnerability, because it takes a lot of that to be a musician. You have to be able to put that out there for people to connect to. So if you are a singer who likes to work in solitude, you want to find some training material online on YouTube or something, and you want to work by yourself, and you don't want to engage with other artists, and you don't want to practice, you just kind of want to do it at your own speed and not work with other people, this is not going to be the right program for you. This is not going to be the right fit, and that's fine. So if you are an aspiring professional singer, you may be watching this video at this point and thinking, yeah, obviously I want to be the absolute best singer I can possibly be. I want to get top-notch training, and I want to get control and flexibility in my voice. That's great, but there's so much more to building a career as an artist. Like, I don't even know where to start. How does the industry even work? How do you find gigs? How do I create and propel my unique brand as an artist? How do I collaborate with other people's? How do I gain the necessary skills to do things like this with other artists? Great question. Well, let me address that. This is where the Dynamic Voice Online Mastermind program is truly, truly special. So as an artist, I have and do work professionally in the theater industry here in New York and across the US. I've toured with major artists in the US and Europe. I have worked in the classical sphere. I've performed solo engagements at venues like Carnegie Hall and 54 Below here in New York, and I have collaborated with independent artists to create amazing, amazing recordings and performances, both in group settings and in solo settings. And in the Dynamic Voice Online Mastermind program, we will have twice a week, we'll have live collaboration Zoom calls where we as a professional community will come together and we will work through all of these ideas, obstacles, and questions. So I'll be bringing in not only the benefit of my own experience as a professional musician, but I'll also be bringing in amazing industry guests to work with our community to provide all of these answers. So I like to think of this as being an anti-gatekeeping, right? This idea of gatekeeping where you feel like you see the goal, but you don't know how to get there. And it feels like sometimes the answers and solutions and paths to those are being kept back. This is what we're doing. We're breaking down that gate. So my greatest passion as a teacher is to provide as many direct and applicable links as possible to foster my students' success. It's an absolutely amazing space to be in, this community space. We will celebrate each other's wins, and we will work and build each other's success up together as we go. So this program is going to be broken down into phases. I want to talk a little bit more about the program itself. So follow along on my screen here. As you know, who is it for? Singers who are serious about pursuing a career in the music industry or musical theater industry, who come from non-classical training backgrounds. What problems are we going to address in this course? We're going to focus on in-depth, directly applicable vocal training that creates a bridge to strong, healthy, stylistic, flexible singing. And I say directly applicable because we're going to cut out all of the parts that are extraneous to getting you where you need to go. We're going to focus right into the core of this training. We're on top of vocal pedagogy. We're going to work on advance your core ear training and theory skills to open up your ability to fully realize your musical goals vocally and professionally. This program is going to provide an entry point and continued guidance for singers that don't know how to get started in the industry. We're going to create those connections and networks and pathways for you. It's going to create an active framework for networking through networking with each other and bringing in industry guests who can provide those opportunities. We're going to train you on artist branding and marketing skills, social media, web design, all of this good stuff. We're going to remove any gatekeeping for how the industry works. We're going to create a situation where in the community we are understanding how the industry works and how to apply ourselves to that. We're going to create opportunities to collaborate with other artists and learn about creating from your home, recording from your home, recording virtually, especially if you don't live in a big city. One of the things that I've heard a lot of from folks is, well, I don't live in one of the big market cities. I live in Europe, in a smaller town. I live in the Midwest. I live somewhere where I don't have access in person to these big market opportunities. And it's going to feel like spending time with friends who support you and are challenging you to meet your potential within the program. That's what it's going to feel like. That's the vibe. How does it work? So the program's going to be broken down into 3 phases. So each of these phases is going to include pre-recorded teaching material that you're going to work on your own time, but we're all going to be working on individually together. So phase 1 is going to be the essentials of vocal pedagogy with corresponding practice videos and one-on-one lessons. So we're going to learn about how in this course material, how the singing mechanism body works. We're going to learn about getting in the way of ourselves. And I mean that, from a mental, emotional standpoint, but also from a physical standpoint. Singing is so much simpler than we allow ourselves to realize. Legato, breath support. If you know these words, amazing. And if you don't, you're going to know them. Legato, breath support, resonance, registration, agility, dynamics. And we're going to provide all of these different resources for you to train and practice as a singer. Phase 2 is going to be the essential ear training and theory for singers. So if you are somebody that wants to sing for a band, wants to create your own band, you're going to need to know what you're hearing and how to adapt and improvise on that. If somebody says, I like that harmony, but actually can you take the higher harmony, or can you sing in unison, or can you create a harmony that has maybe some interesting contrary motion, or can you sing in harmony with me, but can you take the upper harmony, can you have parallel motion with what I'm doing? We're gonna make sure you have all of those skills and knowledge working for you. Where phase 3, we're gonna work on even deeper on some of these practical aspects of becoming a professional, which is the mindset work, which is so important. Maybe the most important thing up there with the actual vocal training. Branding, developing your artistic brand. So I want to talk a little bit more about the community aspect of this online mastermind program again. The community is to collaborate with other members. We have twice a week live Zoom collaboration calls. One of the calls is going to be with me always. We're going to workshop vocal technique. We're going to workshop issues and obstacles and topics that we're all facing as aspiring professional singers. And the other call is going to be with an industry guest. So we're going to have Q&As or workshops with industry guests who are going to come in from different genres, different aspects of the music industry with different expertise. So we're going to have artists who can talk to you about the process, about the experience. We're going to have industry guests who focus on web design and artist branding on social media, on YouTube. We're going to have artists, people like agents and managers come in and talk about that. We're going to have, really, I'm striving to bring in as many different resources for singers as possible to help you create direct lines to your success. And here, this last point, this is really important. There is a member cap on this beta launch of the Dynamic Singer Online Mastermind. And the member cap is 15 people. And that's it, because we want to keep the community focused, tight, and making sure everybody really gets individual attention and can really get to know each other well and collaborate well with each other. So as I'm creating this live screen share recording, I'm already 2/3 of the way full, because I've met so many incredible focused singers just from word of mouth. So this is really exciting, but there is a strict member cap, and that is 15 people. I'm going to jump over here back to my students, and I want to pull up this clip from Desi, who is a wonderful student who's part of the program, and she's just talking a little bit more about her experience.
I'm going to continue working with Sophie for as long as humanly possible, but I'm confident in my voice now. I look back at the progress, I've made, compare myself to how I sounded in the beginning to how I sound now, and it's kind of amazing the notes I can hit now. I never thought it was possible to sing that high, and I can now, and it's all thanks to Sophie. And I've learned a lot about technique from her. I've learned about the muscles that you use in your body to engage your instrument or your voice. And Sophie has this way of just making you comfortable. I'm never afraid to ask questions, and she's very good at encouraging you to just be the best you can possibly be when it comes to singing.
So I love that clip from Desi, because she's talking about both mindset and technique, right? She's talking about how she's gained so much confidence in her abilities, and that is so important because confidence is confidence and mindset is half the battle as we're building our skills. So get to meet Desi if you're part of this program. She's absolutely fantastic artist and human. So, like I said, we're keeping this professional community relatively small with this member cap because we want to have individualized attention and the space to support and focus and all be successful throughout the phases of this program. So, this beta program, as I said, is 2/3 full with only a handful of spots left. So, if I have been talking to you this whole time, if you've been watching this video and you've been thinking, yes, this is me, Sophie, this is me. Yes, exactly. This is me. I am an aspiring professional singer. I want to unlock the strength and flexibility in my voice. I want to have control and agency over my voice. I want to know how to build my brand. I want to know how to create the pathway for a successful career that feels unique to me. Yes, I want this. I want to work in a community. I want to collaborate with other artists. This is me. Great, amazing. So here's my call to action for you. I want you to click the link below here. I want you to fill out a short survey, and I want you to book a call with me. So it's really simple. You're going to book a time to talk, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the program, and we're going to see if it's a good fit for you. If it feels like a good fit, and we both agree that you're an artist who will get a lot of value from the program, and if I feel like I can be valuable to you based on your experience and your situation now, then we can talk about next steps at that point. And if we mutually agree that it's not a good fit or it's not the right fit, that's okay too, because this program is it's tailored towards this really specific aspiring professional, and we want to make sure that we are getting those students in so that everybody can experience as much success as possible. So click the link below, book a call, and I absolutely cannot wait to talk to you and share this great passion that I have with you and see all of the amazing, incredible things that you're going to accomplish moving forward. So link below. Thanks for watching. See ya.